I do just want to reiterate, get that bow. That's why I sent you here in the first place. I need you to have my temple be not desecrated anymore. If we could get my temple hallowed again, that would be great. The first step to doing that is to make sure your brother doesn't keep, pouring the icky bleh all over my things. Lois, you make it to the altar. At the top is this big great bow. You pull on the bow, and the crystal shatters off of it. And you lift up this great bow. And as you do, the branches start to pull into themselves. This great bow shrinks until it is the size of a short bow, and it fits snugly in your hand. And you feel the power of a god flow through you.
Lavinia is so mad that all of her friends have gone down that she just screams in intensity at the moonbeam situation and just clenches her fists and releases her fists.
The light of the moonbeam brightens to an intensity, and it seems to vaporize Valorous. He screams in agony. You think this can kill me? I am unto a demigod. I am one of Sylph's beloved! And he stumbles forward out of the moonbeam. He rushes towards you, Lavinia, and as he does, he collapses into a pile of ash, his weapons and belongings clattering across the floor. The Grand Advisor begins to glow green and glitter away. And as it does, you hear Sylph's voice say, "You didn't think I was going to let you keep that, did you?" We come in to the Abbey of Sylph a night later from where we last saw it. The White Messengers moved on to continue their mission, and they've left the Abbey and your captured members of the Obscura with you. You know that you still have quite a bit of time before you need to get to Shadowhorn, and you know that you've also looted most of the Abbey. Is there anything else you would like to do before you take off? And also tell me, what would you like to do with the surviving members of the Obscura?
Yeah, we didn't see a single Obscura because we didn't go through the catacombs.
I wanted to get the bow from Lois, because Lois just has a pile of stuff, and after seeing Jerusalem pick up the one of the three weapons and they all disappeared, kind of like, oh, I thought we were gonna get one.
Lois, Sylph did take back the Grand Advisor, but you got a blessing from Sylph, in exchange for completing the quest. If you want to look at your character sheet, you will see you have a new feat.
Ooh.
Oh! Ooh!
Yeah, and along with the normal bow, not the fancy bow, because that's gone, the great bow, you no longer have a bow, so you don't need the gloves of archery or whatever they're called.
Bracers of archery, because I don't need them.
I would like those. I will take those off your sheet, please.
Yeah, I was like, because I was robbed of the super cool bow.
You were robbed.
Yeah, and we were... Okay, to be fair, even though Jerusalem...
I'm not going to give you guys a legendary artifact when you're level 4.
But even though Jerusalem got the Spark Tongue, even he's disappointed that everyone else didn't get the other weapons.
Yeah, okay, listen, I thought it was cool as hell, first and foremost, and second, I really liked that bow.
It was good.
And just... We all got clockwork stuff from the clockwork dungeon, but we only got one thing.
Yeah.
You got one boss weapon, but there was plenty of treasure throughout this entire dungeon.
Riley, I do have a question.
Sure.
Does the great bow come with any arrows, or do I have to buy those from Jag?
I believe, Lois looted the arrows off of Chuckles.
20.
20. Okay.
You're welcome.
Also, just note, the bracers of archery require attunement, Kaya.
Yes, I have attuned myself to them.
So you're taking that time.
I can give, Kaya my arrows. I've never used my short bow, ever. And I don't think I've ever used my daggers, either.
Until you did use your crossbow.
Not a crossbow.
Short bow. Oh, I did use it once before I
Yeah,
got
on the
my...
little demon.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
same with your daggers and then you got your clockwork stuff. And
Yeah.
Listen, when you have a good weapon,
Yeah, you stick to it.
I'm not the kind of person who diversifies what I'm attacking with. I have one thing in my hand, and I throw it.
honestly, I'm gonna be so glad with my super dope Sight of Shadows. I love that now. That's dope, and I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it.
Given that I'm probably not holding my 2 daggers, my rapier, my short bow, my gear throwing, and my spark tongue, I'm gonna throw all the other stuff in my inventory.
You're just throwing it into the bag.
Well, technically I'm just unequipping it. But, Kaya, if you want 20 more arrows, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay.
I have 40 arrows. I don't know how that fits.
Big quiver.
I'm
You're a
carrying
horse.
2 quivers.
You have 2 cleavers?
I'll do 0 error. I mean, I guess I could hand you my quiver.
Would they even be the right size of arrows? 'Cause that's a short bow, and
yes.
I'm carrying a great bow.
That, you know what? D&D is a game where they don't make you keep track of arrow size. So
But also as someone who likes to shoot arrows as a hobby sometimes.
It's the standard plug of
Yeah.
D&D.
I also will say it probably is because short bows, the adjustment is more so how big it is. We saw that with Alyssa, with the giant bow.
Yeah, but Alyssa also couldn't pull the bow all the way back to the ear like you're supposed to. She had to pull it part way because the arrows were too short for that big bow.
To your ear, you're supposed to pull it to your fingers to the corner of your mouth. That's what they teach you. It's
Both. It
Either way,
depends on
Alyssa's
how you're
arms were
holding the
too
arrow.
long.
hey,
It depends
gang,
how you're holding the
focus back up.
what I'm just saying. Normally, arrows will.
Hey, gang, focus back up.
Yeah.
This is not important. We're all over the place today.
Do we want to keep exploring here, or are we good?
Jerusalem intends on owning this place, so...
That's right, you did get
Jerusalem.
the deed.
Roll an insight check.
Alright. Insight. Starting off nice, 17.
Nice.
Okay. With a 17, what immediately comes to your mind is there are a couple problems with owning this abbey as territory. One, it is pretty removed from any of the cities, so it would be a little bit difficult for you to get work here. Two, this territory was previously owned by an enemy faction that knows about it, and you have not killed all of yet. So there is always a chance that if you move in here, one day Vakomsha or the fish people or something will come home and find you guys here.
Yeah, I
So,
suppose so.
There is that problem. This isn't me saying you can't live here, but those are some things you would have to overcome before.
Well, I mean, Jerusalem was intending really to just, keep it as an asset, but...
Sure.
I
We
guess
wouldn't
could
have anyone to
liquidate it.
protect it, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could just liquidate it. Go into town and be like, hey, there's a thing nearby, anyone want it?
You do have the deed. You could sell it for
We're not gonna mention that
Yeah.
that it's filled with cultists or anything.
You could sell it for a huge amount of gold.
Yeah. Jerusalem just likes to keep hard
Yeah.
assets over gold.
Instead of that, though, keeping the deed, wouldn't that build to Jerusalem's whole thing? Because it's not just monetary value and the fact that you would know the deed would be a lot of money. Wouldn't that still boost up your trade?
Yeah, wait for the stock market. wait till it's really good to sell it.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Well, that's what I was saying. Jerusalem was intending on keeping it because it adds to his fortune. However, money also adds to his fortune. Because it's not hard cash. They just count a collective of assets.
But also, we wouldn't be able to protect it, so
Yeah.
we can't sell it and then have them come back and be like, hey, there's people there.
I mean, you could. Jerusalem's family doesn't.
That's true.
Yeah, they'd find out.
Oh, I did have a question. are... Oh, shoot, I forgot their names. But I know the West aren't here to play their characters anymore.
They took off.
But are they... Okay, so they left.
Yes, they left early in the morning.
Okay. What about the two captives?
Oh, yeah.
I rolled. Scum and Mirage did try to escape, but they were stopped by Barkley.
Yeah, so Barkley still has them.
Wonderful.
And Jerusalem still intends to go through with the deal, which is just walk them back to Shadowhorn, and then the deal's over.
Sure.
I mean, I guess he could also just let them go now, but now that we know it's like everything's good.
Yeah. If you talk to that, Scum and Mirage would honestly rather be let go here and take off than be brought back to town.
Okay.
They do ask for their stuff again.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kaya goes over to them, and if it's okay with Jerusalem, she starts to untie them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So she unties them, and as she unties Scum, she pulls out the ooze dagger and tosses it to her.
She catches it, and wordlessly puts it away.
Yeah, Jerusalem's going to give back everything except for the thieves' tools, which he has given to Lois.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to learn how to use them.
You're not giving them back either.
No, because it would make sense for Lois. I just didn't get that option, which sucks. So I'm gonna try to see in the future if I can get a feat that I can't. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, for extra measure, Jerusalem is going to give back the 17 copper.
Oh.
That's
sad. Oh, I forgot I still have the doctor's diary in my inventory.
And I'm gonna say that erases Scum from his personal vendettas list. So.
Oh, that's good.
Mirage does ask for his arcane focus back. He's like, I would like my wand if we're going to be journeying through this swamp by ourselves.
Oh no.
I have the spell book, so he would go. Lois would go. I can give you your spell book.
I thought we gave it to the other people.
We didn't give his wand to the other people.
That's right, we gave the wand, just the wand.
Right.
You know.
Fine. I'll take my spell book and I'll be grateful that I'm getting that back at least.
The wand was broken in the fight. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it snapped.
Oh no,
Damn.
it broke. Oh no.
Lois would say that. Lois would say that. So Lois actually goes, unfortunately, within the fight, it ended up being broken.
When you fell from the rooftop.
When you fell from the rooftop, it ended up being crushed and broken. So all we have is your spell.
Mirage is gonna roll insight. Roll deception. Oh, Mirage.
I got a 21.
Yeah, Mirage is like, alright, fine.
Yeah, I'm so... Wait, no, I should have added more to that, because it's one of my bolder...
You know what? He wasn't gonna beat what you got, so don't even bother. Let's just keep moving.
Oh, do we know where wait, we gotta go get Jag.
Yeah, of course.
I would say after the rest, Jag came out of the dormitory area.
Okay.
Jag is with you guys.
Okay.
I was wondering though, did they say where they took his boat, or did the fishmen leave it there?
We don't know.
We have no clue.
The best case scenario is it's probably in Shadowhorn, like at the cove near there.
Shadowhorn is not near a cove. Shadowhorn is more inland, on the river.
What was the thing then? There was.
Huh.
Let me look at that map.
You went from Xandria. Okay, Shadow. It's not clear, because of where the symbol is placed. But Shadowhorn is on that river more so than it is in that inland cove. My
okay,
bad.
but there's still that connection to the sea, and that's what I'm thinking it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right at the tip of that, like, inland river. where the mouth opens up to the... Yeah. That's our best guess. We might have to buy Jag a new boat otherwise.
Ugh.
Which we could probably afford with selling the deed.
Yeah, we'll follow the river back and we'll hope that we'll find it.
That still just wouldn't be fun.
Is there a boat we can take back so we don't have to walk?
Oh,
You
also,
are in the middle of a marsh. You are like in a swamp.
now that Scum and Mirage have gone, and Barkley was successful on keeping them prisoners, Jerusalem wants to extend Barkley a job offer.
Oh,
Wonderful. I would be honored to join you. I will need a guild to be with until I can find Timaeus. Timaeus? The DM has forgotten how to pronounce my friend's name.
it was Timaeus.
Timaeus, yes. Until I can find
Tobias with
Timaeus,
an M.
I'll need someone to journey with. If that could be you, that would be most appreciated.
Yeah, alright. We don't really do short-term hiring, but I guess we'll figure it out.
Why, I've been here for 80 years!
It is unclear if Timaeus is even alive, or if they will want to continue to adventure. And honestly, our guild was only 2 people. It might be best if we both join up with you. So, I am not by any means saying that this is a short-term thing, just saying that it would be smart for me to jump at this opportunity.
Well, it's good to have you on the crew. You've proven yourself trustworthy.
Yay!
We will enjoy your company for no matter how long you stay with us.
Yay!
Robotic, yay.
Well, time to trudge, I guess.
I will say, you guys see Scum and Mirage take off north, the exact opposite direction of where Shadowhorn is. They start...
Understandable.
They head off towards north. As they're walking away, Scum turns around, sees you guys also packing up and getting ready to go, shoots you a rude gesture, and then they head off into the jungle.
Whoa. Rude, I gave you back your knife.
You also killed all of her friends.
I did not. That was everyone else.
Hey, I'm just saying, you had every chance to heal them or give them medical aid. I called out that multiple times. You watched them die.
I don't remember that.
Jerusalem nearly died many times.
That is also true.
Well, Scum wasn't.
Scum should be grateful she's not on his vendettas list
And honestly,
anymore.
when you spared Scum, that is why Scum spared you.
Yep.
That did buy you that small amount of goodwill from her. Just so you know, that didn't go to waste.
We didn't kill Mirage.
No, you left Mirage to die. He just rolled good death saves. Don't pat yourself on the back for that. You don't deserve it.
Didn't he fall off a building or something?
Yeah.
Building. We checked literally everyone.
Again, I called out multiple times for if you guys wanted to provide medical aid for any of the Obscura,
Listen,
and all
we
of you
don't have to worry about who killed who.
said no.
There's more people we have to kill in Shadowhorn. Let's get moving. Let's go kill those people in Shadowhorn.
Oh,
Come on, everyone.
Jerusalem, roll insight
Yes.
again real quick.
Okay.
As you say, let's go kill those people in Shadowhorn.
Well, I got 9.
Yeah, you should go kill those people in Shadowhorn, man.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
Uh-huh.
That was what we were supposed to do. My uncle is still waiting for us. I have a lot of things to tell my uncle.
You got that letter about your uncle complaining about an adventuring guild that was probably a thieves guild encroaching on his territory in this general area.
I believe he mentioned it was the Obscura.
Okay, so you, Rowan, succeed on the insight check. You probably killed all the people you were sent to get in the first place. Yeah, there's probably some more stuff to it, yeah.
Yeah, but we still have to go tell him that we killed them all. And double check, because, like,
For sure.
probably.
All
but-
right. So you guys are heading, you guys are gonna do your best to head towards Shadowhorn?
Yeah, trudging through the marsh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys do have access to a map, and so you do know that Shadowhorn is south of you, so you'll be at least heading in the right direction.
How's everyone doing on health?
You guys got a long rest. You're all up to full.
Oh, we did get a long rest.
Mm-hmm. You regained.
Oh, we just kind of hung out.
Yeah, you regained your health, your spell slots, and half of your hit die.
We were just spawn camping the
Yeah.
the cultists in the.
The cultists fled into the marsh. As soon as that energy field keeping them in fell, they all took off.
Okay, so during the fight, basically.
Yeah, during the fight. They know better than to mess around with adventurers that killed their bodyguards. They didn't have Valorous, and the Obscura were their muscle. Valorous died. The Obscura were murdered in front of them. They were like, yeah, it's time to go, and they took off.
Yeah. This was a surprisingly gruesome...
Yeah, there's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
We, how'd you say, made them unalive.
We unalived everything.
Program. Removed them from the gaming program.
Listen, if this place wasn't deserted when we got here, it sure is deserted now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys are heading down south through the marsh. Who is leading? Basically, who would like to make the survival check for the day's journey?
Oof.
I'm a horse. I could probably carry the other two.
What is survival?
Survival is wisdom, plus your proficiency.
I only get +1 proficiency because I don't got it.
Am I carrying you guys?
Probably not, because that would slow us down a lot.
That would.
I am a horse, though.
Yeah, but you're also technically a person. And carrying 2 people on your back.
You're both very slight people.
That is true. True, especially you, Jerusalem.
It will slow you down, Kaya.
Yeah.
But honestly, you'd probably be going slow anyway, due to the fact that this is like a jungle swamp. And these people are... So that would slow you down on its own. But, yeah.
I mean, either way, it would make sense for Kaya to lead, being the horse. Probably
Yeah.
Okay.
charge a path. Because here's the thing. If the smallest person leads, we're probably gonna end up going into a space Kaya can't fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Kaya fits, then everyone else will fit.
And also, I'll just trudge a path for you guys through whatever brush there is.
Yeah. I was like, it's not snow. What are you... This is mud.
So that's wisdom, so that is a 16.
Okay, you made it. Roll a D100.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, encounter time.
Oh boy. 76.
76. Okay. As you guys are coming along, you find, more ruins in, Swallow's Marsh. They look kind of sunken in, also very old. It's like sinking into the mud. Upon closer inspection, Kaya, since it's, within walking distance as you're heading down south, you peek inside and you find...
Oh, I find something.
No investigation roll?
No, because this is the random encounter you get.
Oh, neat.
Basically, because you made your, quick, basic version of how this works, you made your survival check so you get to roll off a positive encounter table instead of a negative one. And you rolled that you come across something nice, so...
Cool.
A little group icon moves down the map.
You come across the ruins of an old hut. As you peer inside, you root around. You find a small locket box that has 10 platinum inside.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Platinum.
Damn.
Mhm.
Platinum price.
Well, technically Kaya found it, so... Kaya, you can put that in your purse if you wanted to.
I have put it there for now, just so I know where it is.
And as you journey through Swallow's Marsh, this area is interesting. It's like a mix between a jungle and a swamp. It's very muddy here, and there are these thick, gnarled roots that grow out and back into the mud. and things. There's a mix of these very exotic jungle-like trees with thick vines hanging down off of them. But it also, like, sometimes there's like a fog or a mist that breezes through, interestingly enough. And the entire area is just kind of damp. There's a lot of weird sounds you hear as you're all journeying through. Very reptilian. You don't stumble across anything major. At one point, you crest over a ridge and you see a pack of fleet drakes, like grazing on a kill. Fleet drakes are like basically what if a horse and a velociraptor had a baby. Imagine like a horse, like a horse-sized creature, but covered in no, a horse-sized creature, but it is entirely reptilian. Instead of hooves, it has little claws, but reverse jointed in a way so that it's very quick for running, but it's still like four-legged. And it has a very long, narrow snout that kind of tapers down to a little nubbin. But its mouth goes all the way back almost to its neck. And it has these thick, crocodile scaling over its brows and these yellow reptilian eyes. And just a tiny...
So it really is a crocodile, but with bigger legs.
It's a crocodile on stilts. It's a running crocodile. Yeah, they're called fleet drakes because they're like drakes, but horsey. And they have little tiny tail nubbins.
Oh.
And you see a couple of those, they're eating a kill. When they see you come over, they all kind of perk up, look at you like deer, and then like leap up into the air and like scamper prance deeper into the jungle.
No, come back! I love you! My gosh, I just realized it's not a Sheena thing. It's a me thing. I just like terrifying tiny creatures.
No, they're the size of horses.
Not tiny, but I like medium to small terrifying creatures.
Yeah, okay. But eventually, as you guys are coming along, you come to a river. And you know to follow the flow of the river as all rivers empty out into the ocean. You start following the flow downstream. It's a beautiful day. You don't run into anything weird. No fish people, no bandits, nothing in sight. And then you come across Shadowhorn. Shadowhorn is a little bit like... You guys have all seen the Hobbit movies, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd like to really quick apologize to any of our audience that hasn't seen the Hobbit movies.
I would like to apologize for my husband and say, ignore that, go watch it.
Shadowhorn is a little bit like Lake Town in the sense of it's a city built on the water, but instead of built on a lake, it is built in the middle of a big rushing river.
Ooh.
You see, it is built between a series of bridges that like are so close together that there are bridges connecting the bridges and buildings built on the bridges and beneath the bridges and between them, connecting them all.
Another example, Avatar: The Last Airbender during the fire season.
Oh, yes, there's also one of these in that.
That one I can say go watch. That one I don't care.
Watch all the things. We have good quality sense.
There are some buildings in Shadowhorn that are like huts on stilts, kind of isolated from the rest of the town, but that have little rope drawbridges or things that they can lower or swing across to connect them to the main bridges that connect the rest of the town. So the bridges are almost like streets, and some of these buildings go underneath the river. And some of them are built on the sides of the river, in the trees and such. And you see there are several sections of like they can pull up the ends of the bridges like drawbridges to isolate the town in the middle of this river, so it's harder to reach.
I love it.
Also, you see the reason why this town is called Shadowhorn is there are tall ridges on either sides of the river that have these like tall kind of like hillside ridges that have these big trees growing that are like so thick together that it casts these shadows over the river. So it's always kind of dark here.
So this is more like a ravine river.
Kind of. It's like, what if the Mississippi kind of had little mountainsides on each end a little bit? It's not as wide as the Mississippi, but no, yeah.
I wish I knew what the Mississippi looked like.
Yeah. And also, its architecture varies pretty wildly from Xandria. In Xandria, there's a lot of, like, sandstone architecture and kind of, not Mesoamerican, but I don't know how to describe this level of architecture because I just don't have the language to describe architecture like that. Anyway, Xandria is mostly built out of sandstone and has a lot of these like pale yellows and oranges and rocky colors and everything in it. It's built out of a lot of stone and it blends into the surrounding area pretty well. It is colored instead by all of these colorful merchant banners signifying the different businesses and the different ships that come into Xandria. Shadowhorn is mostly built out of wood and is in the dark and is not doing anything to light itself up. So it's a lot of like wood colors and a lot of darks and shades. And the entire thing is just built in the middle of this massive rushing river. And you've come to Shadowhorn. Finally.
Oh, it also kind of reminds me of Riften in Skyrim. Not quite as much, but they are on the edge of the water.
I mean, given that it's supposed to be like a thieves' town.
Yeah.
Riften is kind of the... yeah, so we're gonna have to find out where... I should have written down stuff.
I mean, you would know where this guy is, right? He's your family.
Yeah, but I should have written down the name of his guild. It's in... Jerusalem knows.
It is the Moon
know.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, Moon Brotherhood. I'm gonna write that down.
Taking notes in my thing.
And he just told you to come to Shadowhorn. He didn't say or specify where he was in Shadowhorn.
No, but we can assume that we can look for the guild building, which is probably going to be hard to find, but still. However, that brings up a good point. I would like to do a perception check to look around for any sort of...
Before you do, mark off rations for the day's travel here. It took you about all day to get here.
Okay, so it's a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rations. Forgot about those.
Yeah.
Because we had planned to use them and then we got murked.
Alright. Yeah. So, given that this is a thieves' town, there's probably a lot of thieves' camp signs around. That are, like, hidden in plain sight sort of thing. So I'm going to do a perception check to see if there's anything that might point us in the direction of the Moon Brotherhood's guild.
Sure. Roll perception.
And I got well, it's probably gonna win, but let me add my perception anyways. 21.
21. So, with a 21, you immediately kind of piece together that Shadowhorn is, not like Xandria at all. You called it a thieves' town earlier, and like that really matches up. You're passing a lot of weird water alleyways, and you see like a group of Dragonboard kids like underneath a bridge with a bag, and they're just kind of lowering the bag into the water. As you walk by, the kids turn and look at you. You're like, and you keep going. You pass like several brothels, and just like several gambling dens, and like they're not proper casinos. They're just like little gambling houses on the water. But like there's kind of a lot of those areas. And so as you're sorting through, you kind of immediately piece together like, if this is where the sketchy stuff is, then I'm in the wrong part of town. And so you kind of start to orient yourself by heading towards the most reputable and like business-centered places until you arrive on this large bridge. And as you're walking by, you pass a very nice bathhouse that has like marble set into the wooden walls and things like that. You find yourself on what must pass for Main Street in Shadowhorn, which is like this big, wide bridge that has like these very nice, fancy places on it. And as you're walking along, you find a small guild house that has a moon symbol written on it. And there, like, you see carved into the side to make it look like it's been graffitied. In Thieves' Cant is the Moon Brotherhood.
All right.
Meanwhile, they're just probably following Jerusalem around like, are you sure you know where you're going? Yeah, Jerusalem stops here. He's also going to turn to Jag and be like,
Did we find his boat?
no, we didn't
No.
find his boat.
Of course you didn't.
Oh.
Be like, this is our business. We will go in. You can do whatever you want while you wait for us.
I want nothing to do with your business.
I know.
I will find my way to a nearby inn.
Jag, I'm terribly sorry about your boat. I'm not sure if we'll find it again, but as compensation for your boat and your time, please take this. And she gives him the 10 platinum.
All
He-
10 platinum?
Yeah.
He shakes his head
Jesus.
and goes, "You are not getting out of finding my boat. We will find my boat once your business
Oh.
is concluded.
Jag is like, no.
It's out there. Somewhere between Shadowhorn and Xandria. It has only been a week. We will find it."
I thought you said you didn't want to have anything to do with us anymore.
I don't want anything to do with your business, but my business is still very important to me.
I apologize, my misunderstanding.
We will find my boat.
Of course.
That is next.
She pockets the 10 platinum.
Jerusalem was just like, what the heck?
Look! He had a lot of stuff on that boat.
10 platinum, though.
I don't know how much boats cost or how much the stuff on his boat cost, and also the terrible time he's had. Kaya canonically gives him money for
Riley, how many
we
gold
just-
was 1 platinum?
A platinum is 10 gold.
So Jamie was going to give him 100.
100 gold, but still wouldn't have bought a boat.
I was gonna say, yeah, I wouldn't have bought a boat or all of the.
Still a lot of money.
It would have been a lot of money. I agree. Wouldn't have bought a boat though.
Alright.
Yeah, you're looking at 10,000 gold for replacing Jag's ship.
Yeah, let's find that boat.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I might be looking at a smaller ship than what he had.
Yep.
Oh!
We're finding that boat.
Because his ship wasn't that small, we were able to go to the Isles on it.
Yeah, I need to
Do
double
we
check
think
the size of
it's
this boat real quick.
a good idea for everyone to come into the Moon Brotherhood together, or...
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay.
Unless we're not allowed.
There's probably a back room we won't be allowed into, but... it's probably just... It's a guild building, so they're normally open. I always forget that Barkley's here with us, too.
I am Berkeley,
I
hi!
am still also here, yes? Should I accompany Mr. Jag, or should I come with you?
Jack's fine on
Jag,
his
will
own.
you be needing company?
Jerusalem and Kaya say at the same time.
Jag is like gone. Jag left.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm...
Jerusalem's like, Jack's fine on his own. Besides, Barkley's a guild member now. Well, honorary guild member until we can get paperwork signed.
Yeah.
Barkley shrugs. I have been aiding you all this time anyway.
So we go in to the
Okay.
Moon Brotherhood.
You step inside, and this place is immediately nicer and bigger than the guild house that you have back in Xandria.
Yeah.
This looks like a proper business area. You immediately see sitting at this desk is this massive armored dragonborn. Just a huge, beefy boy. covered in head to toe in this dark iron wrought armor, with big poofy white like hair or like a mantle coming from the back of the helmet. And they go, Roy, hello to you all, valued customer. Oh, Jerusalem, it's me.
Roll to know who this is.
Jerusalem.
Yeah, Jerusalem's just kind of like,
Jerusalem, look, it's me. Oh, you can't recognize me because of the helmet, right? He like reaches up to his dragonborn face and pries it open.
I would like to say Lois visibly blanches at that.
Inside of the dragonborn helmet, there is what appears to be a half-elf, half-orc, inside, who is wearing dragonborn armor, and the helmet just does not fit this man. This helmet is like 3 times the length of his face. But he like opens it up. And you realize, like, the hair on the back is actually just his natural hair. It's not a helmet extension or anything. He opens it up and he's like, it's me! It's your cousin!
oh, wow, that is some
Aranonal!
That is some armor.
Right?
Where'd you get that?
Uncle said I have to blend in. He doesn't want the reptiles knowing I'm made out of flesh. Well, like skin and stuff.
Lois has a lot, like, facial expressions are going through Lois. Lois is on a face journey. As, like, Jerusalem's cousin says, it's like,
Yeah.
can't place exactly what emotions are flicking through, but they're there.
I love him!
Lois is having a time. I personally am having a time that this is who Riley decided Aranonal was gonna be.
Yeah.
Man, I am interested to see what Allura is gonna look like.
Guys, are you going to greet your cousin?
He did. He complimented on the armor.
Yeah, Aranonal is a half-elf, half-orc. He is preposterously tall. He is pushing 7 feet easy. And his skin is a really light mix of a little bit of yellow, gold, and a little bit of green. So it's this pale kind of lime color almost. And he has kind of these golden tattoos placed around his body. Because of the little bit of orc heritage he has tiny little tusks, but still
Aww.
extremely elven features. And he has the kind of soft, rounded nubbins that half-elves get for their pointed ears instead of, like, the sharp points.
Aww.
And this dude is, like, built in a way that, like, he could fit Lois in his bicep. Like, if he crumpled up Lois into a ball, Lois would be roughly the size of his bicep.
Lois has an eye at that. Like, Lois, like, taking it in is like...
He has this cascade of, like, platinum blonde hair that falls down his back like a cape.
I love him.
He is decked out head to toe in this black, spiked iron, like, warped Dragonborn armor that, like, was made for a Dragonborn, but they've somehow managed to squeeze onto this dude.
Yep. Wow, this is what happens when I give Riley all full control over every single person in my family.
Yeah, of course.
I love this. This is great.
Right. I guess you're not hiding the fact that you're, mammals, though. So now I feel a little silly doing it.
I wasn't aware that we had to hide.
Mild confusion sweeps across his face, but Aranonal is just like, It's probably just a Mooney thing.
Jeez. Okay. Riley, once again, I love you.
Thank you.
I love your creativity. This is amazing, and this is better than anything I would have ever thought up for Aaron Arnold. uh, let me get the just like absolute reeling from this revelation out. This is
so
not
good.
news to Jerusalem, but this is news to me.
Jerusalem, if you want, how about you roll a quick history check on Arenano so we get a little bit of world building on this boy?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully he knows somewhat about his family. Also, to the others, if on the scale of likelihood to get the SDRL family fortune, Aaron Arnold and his wife Allura are at the bottom
Oh
of the
no!
list, and below them is Jerusalem.
Oh.
That is how much the family hates Jerusalem.
Oh.
So Jerusalem's just an asshole.
No, yeah, they all think like he's way too immature, he's way too much of an asshole, he doesn't work well with people, he doesn't have any money,
Are you the youngest?
and he's also the youngest,
Okay.
which is one of the reasons why he doesn't have much money. But he's also pretty much an asshole. He's way too selfish, he's way too self-indulgent. I got a 19 on that history check.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
Hold up, add my int, that is
Oh,
a
yeah.
24.
Whoa.
I know everything about my family.
So, Jerusalem, you immediately remember Arenano, and his wife, Ulora. But, so, Arenano is not your actual cousin. Arenano is, the son of a family friend named Ark, who is a sun,
Arkway.
who is a sun elf. Run that, what'd you say?
Arkway.
Arkway, right. Who is the son of Arkway, who is a family friend and like member of the SDRL business in quotation marks. He's a big beefy sun elf, who was brought in by your mother, as like hired muscle. And when she brought in, Arkway, Arkway's family, Arenano was brought in. Arkway, could not have a child. And so basically he paid very good money to, an outside orc woman, to have a child because, elves have, abysmal, like, birthing rates, like very, very low. Because they're such a long-lived race, there's just not a lot of propagation. And so what is kind of common sometimes in elven clans that value having additional family members is that they will pay or find spouses outside and like pay to have them brought in so that they can have a kid, because other races are just a little bit more fertile.
Surrogates, basically.
Yeah. And so has his son who is a half elf, half orc. This is probably what the Lumi clan was doing with the half drow, the two half drow sons that were aiding her. If you remember, it's the same principle. And half elves are not looked very kindly upon by the Federation. And so the fact that that two half elves are higher up in the inheritance line than you just kind of goes to show how low on the totem pole you are.
Yeah, but I would like to say that Moon Elves specifically are not so against mixed race as a lot of other elves.
Mhm.
And again, money is more important than actual bloodline to them.
Yes,
That's why
absolutely.
they have these, quote, cousins.
But yeah, Arenano is married to a satyr named Ulura, and they are from shoot, one moment, let me pull up. They are actually from the Great Verdant, which is this massive forest over by the two biggest, most important elven, Fey city-states. And they, that's kind of their territory where they do business. You know that they have started a couple of small businesses in the Verdant, smuggling things outside into the Feyborn city-states. So the fact that they're here means that it's pretty important that the fact that they were called away from that, and Arkway agreed to have them sent across the entire continent down here to help.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jerusalem's like, they do those kind of like icebreakers. And Jerusalem's like, I see you got here before us. I wanted to talk to my uncle.
Right. He is having a meeting with the mayor? The Dragon Head, I think they're called here. They don't have mayors, really, in the same way. He's having a business meeting with the mayor lady. That isn't a mayor. Shoot. Anyway, he said I couldn't come. So, I'm here, keeping an eye on the place. Elora's in the back, and we are waiting for Mooney to finish up with his meeting. He is trying to establish himself as a city-funded guild here, but it's not going well.
Well, good for him. So, Jerusalem's just like, any mention of anyone else making more money than him is like... So Jerusalem's like, well, I assume, same reason we're both here, sent to get rid of the Obscura in town.
Well, yeah, that's part of it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the main things we've been having trouble with, is the Obscura have a pretty tight hold on the area, but no one's seen them for a couple of days.
Yeah, about that, that's... Jerusalem's just like... He's got that I know something you don't know face.
Aranonal is gonna roll insight. Incredible.
What?
Aranonal, just like his eyes immediately narrow. You go, You already are on this?
Yeah, we, had a bit of a run-in with the Obscura on our way here, and happened to, well, get a little bit ahead of the mission.
Oh, well, that's a little embarrassing for me.
Yeah, it really is.
It's my role to be the I'm the muscle guy, right? And I'm sitting here behind a desk, and you've already offed a bunch of people. It feels silly. Oh, so rude of me. Bring in your guild. Bring in everyone. Hello. I'm Arnonal, son of Arkway. Estierol isn't our real last name, but that's what we say. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Arnonal. I am Kaya of the Orchard.
Pleasure to meet you. Haven't met a centaur in a very long time. Always a pleasure. And you are?
I am Lois, but I also go by my stage name, Lucky Starlight.
Oh, incredible, a bard. Good to have. Shakes your hand. And turns to Barkley. He goes, Warforged! Love you guys! And Barkley goes, nice to meet you. My name is Barkley. Right. I'm Aranonal. I haven't seen one of you in ages. Oh, these guys are the best to fight. because they don't normally feel pain like someone made out of meat. So you can just rip their arms off, and they keep coming at you. It's truly best fights of my life. All been Warforged.
What is Barkley's face? Well, it's
Barkley's
plain,
face is the exact same face that Barkley's face always is.
Yeah, man, we don't know what he's thinking.
I would like to state, though, Lois is still going through that face journey. There are emotions, and there sure are a lot of them.
Kaya's just taking this like a normal interaction.
All right, come into the back. Come into the back. He closes the door and flips the sign over to closed, and hurries you all back into another room. In the back, you see a satyr woman. She is wearing monk's robes in the style of a sylph follower, one of the sylph monasteries. And she is significantly shorter than Aranonal. She's about 5'4", has a short, like a bob cut, brown hair, tiny little ram horns growing out that it looks like she uses to ram people. And she is got these matching tattoos to Aranonal, except hers are green. When she sees you all come in, she smiles wide, and she goes, "Oh, Jerusalem! I see you brought your guild. Fantastic. We could always use more muscle on this. Hello, everyone. I'm Laura. I'm the wife of Aranonal. I'm sure you've met him. Pardon me for not being in my disguise. Mine is a little bit difficult, so I try not to wear it out all the time. That's why we have Aranonal up front and goes, yeah, I have to be the one at the desk a lot, which seems like a bad play, honestly. All things
What
considered.
is up with these disguises?
Ulura glances at Aranonal, glances at you, Jerusalem, goes, Mooney doesn't want them to know, we're not from Grayscale. Once has us all disguise ourselves as Grayscale population.
Is Mooney disguised as grayscale population?
Likely.
Yes, he's been dressed as a Yuan Ti since we got here.
You know, I would have thought he'd mentioned something like that in the letter.
Kaya's impression of him has gone down.
In character, his character background is charlatan. Thinks that Jerusalem's Uncle Mooney is doing great business work.
He says it's easier to get people to trust you if you think you're from where they're from. And he says he doesn't like elves cause a big stir because there's not really a lot of us around outside anymore. And so he says it's best if we keep that on the down low. That's why I'm dressed like a dragonborn. She dresses as Yuan Ti also.
I figure I was meant to get looped in on this when I got here, but things got in the way.
Right. That's a little odd. He looks at Laura. Laura also is like, he might have just assumed you were just doing the same thing on your own. He probably could have stood to ask, but that's been our order since we arrived, and, we answer to the boss man, so we do what he says.
We've been a pretty diverse group that's kind of hard to hide behind armor, so I assumed that just wasn't an option.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything they could do for you. And Aranonal's like, that's Kaya. Kaya's descendant. She's like, right. Yeah, there's not really an equivalent for you. I don't know how we would hide that.
Put me in a box, I guess.
Maybe.
Jerusalem just, looks thoughtful and then goes, a fake horse head and a fake pair of legs.
Oh, incredible.
I don't think I have enough in my disguise kit to do any of that, so oh well.
Everyone come in, everyone sit down. Mooney will probably be here in a little bit. Make yourselves comfortable. We're kind of running a two-step operation here. That's kind of very important. So Mooney wanted to bring in as much extra muscle as he could from around the family to make sure that this goes well. From what we've heard, it's pretty ambitious and a little bit dangerous. But he's been relatively tight-lipped about it so far.
Kaya kneels down next to a couch, I guess.
Sorry, I'm writing notes.
Yeah, no problem. They get out drinks. Ulora, breaks out Sylvan wine and is passing that around. They let you know that it'll probably be a bit before Mooney wraps up his business meeting. So if you want to, talk, catch up, take a rest, that's all absolutely cool. If you want to walk around the town, take some time to check out the shops or anything, that's all fine.
Did we want to drop off our stuff in the bank?
You could absolutely hit up a bank and drop off your stuff.
That might be good.
Yeah, we're carrying a bunch of valuables, and
Yeah.
a bag of holding is a super easy thing to take.
Do we want to... never mind. I was going to say, do we want to find a pawn shop so that we could sell off some of the stuff? But then I remembered Jerusalem likes to keep items.
Yeah. Keep it as assets. Liquidify it when you need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can absolutely make your way to the nearest dragon horde. That's what they call banks here. If you want.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that going to take a lot of roleplay time?
It can take as much time as you want, or it can take as little time as you want.
Okay. Because I just wanted to get these things out of the bag of holding.
Okay, just tell me what you're placing in the bank.
Okay. The sapphire, the star ruby, all the paintings, and the deed.
How much is the sapphire worth?
1,000.
How much is the ruby worth?
Riley, you wrote them all down in the
Okay,
document.
You know what? Let me just go over and I will
Just
copy and
Copy and
I will
paste.
copy and paste. Yes.
Yeah, why do I gotta read it all? You were so adamant about moving this into its own document.
Okay. So you want all this, what you've highlighted, moved out?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a scythe for 1 gold?
What? What are you looking? Oh,
I'm looking at the marketplace.
you doing some shopping?
I don't know, I'm looking to see if I want to shop or not. But there's a scythe for 1 gold. Okay, there's a great scythe for 40.
Keep in mind that is a simple scythe. That is not a martial weapon version, I believe.
Fun. Not a fun magical scythe.
Yeah, let me double check the what area are you looking at?
Naga's Arsenal?
The Naga's Arsenal, right.
What are craftworks?
Fine craftwork means it is the weapon, but it is now a +1 weapon version of that weapon.
Oh, okay.
Riley, what is this kobold plushie that is in the cafe services?
If you want to go down and buy a little
Cafe?
Well, no, we'll have to roleplay that later.
Yeah, sure.
Because that is just too good to just gloss over. A kobold
I'm sorry, where's the
plushie.
cafe?
Scroll down, there's kobold battle.
Thank you, Robin Mag and I'll Never Tell 3 for supporting us through our Patreon. If you want to support our podcast as well, you can head over to our website, mxpcrew.com, where you can find our Patreon link on the very first page. We offer shoutouts to our patrons, as well as behind-the-scenes information and monthly stickers. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr for all your social media needs. If you like our show and have been thinking about podcasting yourself, I highly recommend starting on Buzzsprout. MXP started on YouTube, and let me tell you, it was extremely difficult uploading 1 to 2 hour long videos at a time in a timely manner. But working on Buzzsprout has been insanely helpful and fast. Buzzsprout helps you list your podcast in every major podcasting platform, as well as provide super affordable monthly payments. I totally forget that I'm paying for it because of how cheap it is. You even get a free, great-looking, pre-made website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, and my personal favorite part, detailed analytics to see how people are listening. If you follow the link in the description and sign up for at least 2 months, not only do you get a $20 Amazon gift card, but you will also be supporting our podcast as well. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.